There are 6 steps that take place in every randomized block experiment. A population is initially taken for the experiment. Next, they're split up into blocks such as type 1 and type 2 to reduce standard deviation and random error. Once they're split up, random assignment occurs in the blocks, then randomized groups are formed. Within each group, there are treatments that each group will have to be tested on. The final step is to compare the overall results to obtain a conclusion for the experiment. The main purpose of this type of experiment is to reduce variability within treatments to find the differences between the treatments quicker. Randomized block experiments use a blocking factor to eliminate a source of variability that can be considered a nuisance factor as well, which is a factor that does not contribute to the success of this experiment, such as different times of a day. The formulas for treatment block and error are used to find the 3 sources of variation in the experiment, while the total just finds the overall variation in the experiment. If variation in one part of the experiment is not accounted for, then the experiment can return an invalid hypothesis in the future about either the blocking effectiveness or the treatment effectiveness. These formulas are used for further hypothesis testing that cannot be shown due to the nature of this short video, but they're not that complicated. Now let's look at an example. This example is one of a randomized block experiment in the world of mechanical engineering that is based on testing 100 ejection seats for military fighter jets. As you can see, the initial 100 jet ejection seats are split up into 2 equal blocks of 50 because there are 2 different types of seats, the ACES 2 seats and the ACES 5 seats. Then within those blocks, a random assignment occurs to create 2 equal groups of 25 for treatment testing. Each group is tested on reaction speed and total vertical force to quantify any spinal injury through compression that a pilot may have during testing. And finally, the results of the experiment are compared from the entire population. Usually, randomized block experiments can be used in any field of engineering and have reduced variability advantages, which is why most engineers can use them. However, this type of experiment is better for a study where there aren't that many treatments to test in the first place.